Hey guys, welcome back. The reason I'm recording this from my car is because unfortunately I deleted the beginning of this video. So I had the brilliant idea that if I did a vlog over the week, if I uploaded it to my editing software that like daily, then by the end of the week it'd be much easier to edit. But what I didn't realize is that if I don't save it to my laptop, that it actually deletes it. It doesn't save it to like the software itself. So when I went in to edit and upload the ones from today, I realised that all of my videos had been deleted. So yay for me. Um, Also, the problem with this is I'm not sure like where we'd got up to, what I'd explained so far, what I was doing, and that video itself was actually me writing the first chapter of my book, so I am a little sad that that's no longer documented. But we live and we learn, and you know, we find what it teaches us in that moment. So yes. So the beginning of the video was I'd made this plan that I was going to knock out 30 minutes a day for my writing to try and just keep the story in my mind, keep in that zone. I don't particularly like the word, but try and keep myself in the story, get to know my characters better, and that hopefully the story would come to me easier. That didn't work for me because for some annoying reason I can't stick to a plan or a structure as much as I want to be that amazingly organised person where my day is completely planned out. My brain's just like, no, I don't want to do that. So here we are. The scene that I wrote was it was awful. I really hated it at the end. I think I pushed myself too much to get the story down in the 30 minutes. My brain wasn't there. It wasn't in the right frame of mind to have all those ideas come to me. So I was annoyed with the whole process. The scene itself is Nasiria. She's running over rooftops. We're in like 1800s London, and I'm trying to show the readers her, not that I'm going to publish the book, but you know, will work with me. Try and show the readers what her skills are like, what she does, and also what the area is like that they're in. So I want to show a little bit of the magic that's used in day-to-day life, just to sort of like normalize it. I want to show the type of demon she hunts. I want to make it suspenseful enough where it's a really interesting opening scene, but not over the top, because no one knows this character, no one cares about them, so you're not invested like that, to have a really long drawn out sort of like fight scene. Also, I want to make it clear just how dangerous the demons can be, and it's not something that she can just like Superman just annihilate instantly. So yeah, so that's kind of what I was framing there. I also want to separate the type of power she has to the type of power most other people have. So this demon, who's also running across the rooftops, is hunting a young boy. Now this young boy is also like Nasiria, who probably doesn't know it. She only noticed it because he's got this special sort of tattoo and it flares up at the end. And anyway, but this is how she knows, and it will be unusual for her to see it so sort of open and public, and she should know that he should be hiding. So that gives the readers some sort of idea of how precious this magic is. The writing itself wasn't good. It will be the worst rewrite of the book, but luckily if I save it, it'll make the rest of my writing look really good. So yeah, so that was it. I just sort of jump in here and just sort of update before we carry on with the video, and then hopefully it sort of makes sense where we're at. Good morning. So this is our second or third video, and I have already failed in the schedule that I'd set for myself. So the idea was to do 30 minutes every day to get something down, get into that writing habit, and just to be able to sit in my story more. Yeah, I didn't stick to that, and I'm honestly, I'm a little, like, part of me is quite annoyed with myself. The other part understands that, one, I've started in a new job, and two, I just don't stick to schedules very well. but it doesn't mean I don't want to. I really want to be a schedule sticker 2 person. Anyway, so, and also I think from that last video where I gave myself 30 minutes, I think it's probably 40 minutes with setting up and everything like that. And I couldn't get in the story the way I thought I should be able to, or the way I expected myself to. So a lot of my scenes and ideas that I've come up with have been normally through listening to music and sort of daydreaming, I suppose. And then when I couldn't just jump back into a scene that I've already seen in my head, with Nasiriyah running across the rooftop, she's chasing this demon, it's rainy, it's miserable, it's like 1800s London, and I just couldn't write it. I couldn't, it was really mechanical, really boring, and not as I thought it should be. I'm thinking that that's because I put such a strict time limit, or maybe I'm the kind of person that just needs more time to be able to actually get into the story, which I hope isn't the case, because I just don't have a lot of it. Also, as time goes on, maybe as I get to know my characters more, that will just come a bit easier to me, but we will see. So today I do actually have the whole day off, which is nice. I forgot to pick something up at 11, but apart from that, I've got nothing on. So I'm thinking this morning, I'm going to make a coffee and I'm going to go for a walk, listen to some music, try and see if I can get my head in that right space, and come back, yeah, and hopefully write something decent, but we will see. Watch this space. That was actually really helpful. The first playlist didn't really do much, I'll be honest. I was trying to set myself in the scene and where it would go from there, and I think it was just more like background music to try and like write to. So the second playlist was definitely a lot more helpful. I managed to come up with a few more ideas. I'm thinking that Nasiriyah was smuggled over by her parents, her mum, from another island because her dad sold them out. The country was being overthrown, and her particular family, so they have the dragon gene, and there will be several different families within this country who have the dragon gene, who basically, they run the country. I'm still working it out, but being overthrown, these were the families that were being killed off, and her father sold them out because her mum, I'm thinking maybe the dragon gene passes down through the female line. I'm trying to figure out why the father would sell them out, but that's what happened. So the mum smuggled her daughter over to this other island, which I've forgotten the name of my island now. Did I come up with one? I can't remember. Quite important, should probably figure that one out. So she smuggled them over, and then something happened, and then the mum gets killed, and then Nasiriyah is left on her own and then gets picked up by the Order, not knowing who she is, to become the assassin that they've made her into. I'm also thinking because she's got that dragon gene, which would have been suppressed, it's somehow bound. Before she left her island, or once she got to the new island, something there, they will bind her dragon fire power, but her air power, which would have come from her father's side, would still be there. It's not very strong. Because her dragon side is bound, I'm going to say that her air power is reduced, but it becomes really handy in being an assassin. So that will be there, picked up by the Order. They can't sense anything else apart from her air magic, so that's why they don't. I think they're going to look into her a little bit. I'm also thinking, I'm trying to come out with the ideas before I lose them, that her hair naturally will be like this bright, deep, auburn, orange, ginger colour. But because that part of her is bound, and no, not because it's bound, I'm thinking maybe that she either finds a way to naturally dye her hair or keep it covered, because it's the one part of her that is different and people can't know. It attracts too much attention because in this new country, people don't have hair that colour. I'm thinking that maybe. Also, I'm thinking I'm going to do 25-minute sprints, or do I do a half an hour sprint and then in the 10-minute gap in the middle, I can make a Spotify playlist or something. I don't know. We'll figure it out. Anyway, I will start back where I was last time, which is where we are creeping around a harbour. We're on our way home. We've killed the demon. We're on our way back to home or to report it. When you kill a demon, you can put, there's a way of drawing its essence out and it becomes like a little stone. So these are the stones that she then takes to the order to get payment for her job, basically. So she's got this stone. She's on her way either to her house or to the drop point where she puts these stones. I haven't figured that out. And then on the way home, she hears a noise down by the harbour, which she was going to ignore to start with, but then decides that she hears someone crying and that she needs to, or there's a gut feeling that's pulling her there. So we're just heading down to the harbour where we see a couple of men. Basically, it looks like they're kidnapping 2 children. So that's where we're at. One of the cool things about Scrivener is it actually has a sidebar, which I'll put up on the screen. And it allows you to put in little notes. So I think I'm going to try and use this to come up to make sure I stay consistent with some of the ideas I'm having. So when I said the demon, you can take out its essence and make it into a stone. I think those stones, depending on what demon it is, needs to be like a specific colour or density or type of stone. So that stays consistent, because I think that's little things like that will really trip me up. And also, I don't need to spend a lot of time writing it in the idea book yet, because I think it will take me out of what I'm doing here. So it's quite a cool little feature, or I thought so. Okay, so I did 2 25-minute sprints with the 5 minutes in between. I did use some of my 25-minute sprint to go and Google some words, like what do we call a wharf? Wharf was the word I was looking for. So was it a 25-minute sprint? Probably not, but there we go. I did do, not that I'm trying to focus on word count, but I did 709 words, which I'm happy with, because I feel they're not necessarily better words, but definitely a better concept. I like the story. I enjoyed writing it. I can see it more in my head. The walk definitely helped get a few things clear. Some things I'm trying to clear up with myself is who is in this world. One, I need to know the name of my countries. I've got 2 countries that I'm focusing on, the one that we are in now and the one where our protagonist Nasiria has come from. So we have, Nasiria, who we'll call Nis, or Ria. We could do Ria. Oh, I never thought of that. Ria's quite a nice name, actually. What do we think? Nis or Ria? See, Nis, I was thinking of just NS, so it's just shorter. But Ria is actually just quite a nice name. And people might not know that her actual name is Nasiria, and we can just carry on with Ria being like the common name that's used. Anyway, so she comes from, from this other island, which we really need to come up with a name for. They either come over of their own free will or not of their own free will, and they are used within the order of the country we're in, because they hold more power and they want them on their side as opposed to against them. So within the country that we're in, you have to, by law, work for the government, basically give them over if your children show signs of having these talents, basically being a Nyren, which I don't like the name of because I don't like the fact that it's Nasiria and Nyren. This was bugging me the other day. It's too many N's. I need a different word for the type of being that they are. And I'm also trying to figure out whether I want humans in it. I think it would make a really good like layered system if we had humans, but where have they come from? Why have we got a country with humans and elementals? How have the elementals got their magic and the humans not got theirs? And because I think it would make a good layering with like the prejudiced and basically the jobs. The humans would have the lower jobs because, well, they haven't got any magic. But no, I don't. I just don't think I can't figure out where they would have come from for it to make sense. So, whereas if the world in general has this basis elemental magic, but some countries have different layers and forms of it, then that would make a bit more sense to me in my head. So there is that one. What else? But Nasiria's magic, because it is stronger, that's where her hair comes in. Do I want other Nyrans to have the different hair colour? I don't think so. I think I want it to be specifically for people of dragon descent. But yeah, no, I feel really good. I like the music. I think the music I was listening to definitely helped me get more into that zone, especially with like the creepy assassin vibe. And I have started in the 5-minute break making a Spotify playlist for that. So, no, I'm really pleased with that. Now I'm going to go and pick up. I'm going to go pick up a thesaurus now. Because I need one, and I like books. I like actually having a book. So yeah, I'm gonna go get that, and then I'm gonna come back and then hopefully jump back into this. I have left it in the middle of like an action part, so hopefully that will help my brain to sort of pick up where it left off, and carry on from there. But yeah, no, I'm really pleased. Okay, so we just got back. It is actually, so I got these off Facebook Market. And I thought it was only one of them, but it turns out I actually got 4 books, which I think are the same. Now, I'm going to say something potentially incredibly dumb. I don't know if there is a difference between different dictionaries and thesauruses in the English language, because I would assume all the words would be in there. But if they were, they wouldn't sell so many different copies. So maybe it's the layout. People like the different layouts. I don't know. I don't know the answer. I feel I should know the answer, maybe at my age, but I don't. So if any of you know the answer, feel free to lecture me in the comments. I got the Collins Compact Dictionary and Thesaurus. It says new on it. I suppose it's all relevant to when they bought it. There was a crossword dictionary. I don't think I'll use this. I don't do crosswords, but I will just take it to the charity shop and someone else can enjoy that one. Also, there's another one that just says English Dictionary and Thesaurus. There's no, like, I don't know who it's by. These things on the side here, they just look like Latin words or letters. I don't know. And the last one, which actually intrigues me, I'll be a bit careful with it, has absolutely no cover. And it looks really, really well used. So my theory is, if there is a difference, this would be a really good one, because it looks like someone preferred this over the other really smart looking one. So I will figure out which one I use the most, which one's most helpful, and just take the rest to the charity shop. But I got 4 for 1, so I'm pleased with that. We're going to jump back in. I've just put dinner on. This is where I show my age. I'm super excited. I got a multi-cooker, so it does slow cooking, pressure cooking, and all of that. And it's amazing. So now I've just shoved everything in there and it'll be ready for dinner. I don't have to do anything. This gives me 3 hours spare to sit with this book. So yeah, so I'm quite excited. We are down in the harbour. The men are trying to kidnap the 2 boys. Nasiria comes along, or Rhea. We're calling her Rhea? Maybe, I think I do like it. Rhea comes along, and obviously she's not happy with the situation. So that's where I'm jumping in now. And I'm hoping with all this time my mind can relax enough to really enjoy this. See, now this is where I get stuck. I'm down, I'm near the harbour, and there's large boats, and they ship goods across seas. Large what? What are they called? Large? It's not a fishing vessel. That's not what I want. So I broke my writing flow to find out what a large ship was that transport goods, and it's just a trading ship. So, dun, 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 dun. All right. Okay, so that one's done. I'm actually really pleased. I think I wrote for like 45 minutes. I'm not completely sure because I didn't look at the time before I started. And I did that because I didn't want to put the pressure on myself when I've got so much time to write that to be clock watching. I don't think I relax enough, which is really annoying because it means I can only really write when I have a huge chunk of time. But anyway, in this one I did, how many words did I do? I'm really, really pleased. I'm really pleased with the words, with the, not necessarily the description again, but again, just how much I feel the story in this one. Oh my goodness, you see how bad I am with description? It just feels really good. I like where it's gone. I like the little things I've added in. There was someone there who basically is trying to not let Nasiriyah get to the children to save them, but she's under the pretense that she's just in danger, and I like how that played out. I like how Nasiriyah is able to show a little bit of magic here, but also at this point, because her air magic isn't that strong, that she's used it all up basically fighting the demon from before, that this is the bit where we really see how much you can actually burn out and it's not just like an unlimited supply. So yeah, I'm really pleased with this. I'm happy with, let's have a look. Da, 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 da. Ah, here we are. Da, 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 Fury. That's where the last one ended off. So this one was 935 words. So I'm pleased with that. It's a good amount of words. Now I'm going to take a 10-minute break. I'll go have a cup of coffee or something and come back. I'm really feeling this scene at the moment. I'm really enjoying it. And I just feel really good. I feel really good because obviously earlier I thought that all was lost and I didn't have my writing anymore and my imagination, and I just feel really, really happy with this. So yeah, no, it was a good sprint. Good morning. As we can see, I didn't continue writing yesterday, which is fine. Things came up, life happens, but I'm still really pleased with the progress I made. I think one of the things that really helped was going for a walk. So that's what I'm going to go do now. I will try and keep today a little bit shorter. I just tried to edit yesterday's video and it's quite long. I talk a lot. So I will try and make today's a little bit shorter. That was actually a really nice walk. It's a little bit overcast today, might even rain if we're lucky. It's nearly summer here, so the rain is definitely welcome. I find music really helps me, and the more I listen to it, like specific type of music, really helps me feel what Nasiriyah would be feeling. So that's really helpful. I think at some point I will have to make like a specific playlist, like for her, and then one for each of the characters, just to try and get in like their frame of mind would be helpful. I was also thinking about my last scene that I wrote. I think it was just too on the nose, too obvious that this woman had tried to stop Nasiriyah from actually getting to these children. So I think I'm going to delete the last paragraph and just start again from there. I'm not going to look back at what I've written. I think I'll give myself grace over the last like few lines, but not allowed to go back, you know? Otherwise, I think I'll just get stuck in editing. So yeah, so I'm going to jump into that. Okay guys, I think we're going to wrap it up there. As promised, I won't do too much talking in today because yesterday was a very long video. But today I wrote for just under an hour and I did 1,100 and something words. So I'm really pleased with that, really happy, and just feel more connected to my character. There are some things that are frustrating in regards to the way I describe certain things because I feel I'm using the same word again and again. But I will try and take time that I haven't allocated to writing to just looking these particular words up as they pop up, I suppose. And trying to clarify what the name of our country is called and if there's going to be humans and all these little things that are really quite important to the story at the beginning. So that's what I'll work on probably this afternoon because there's no time limit to that. But yeah, that's about it. Thank you very much if you've stayed till the end, and I will see you next week.